Today's presentation will be over the 67th JFK assassination anniversary, the Kennedy curse, Revelation 13:3, Trump number 47, today's date, November 22nd, and the number 33. All right, let's get into it. So what happened November 22nd, 1963? Well, JFK was the 35th president of the United States and was serving from January 1961 until his death in November 1963. He died at age 46. He was born May 29th, 1917, and would go on to die November 22nd, 1963, making him 46 years old at the time of his death. He was the youngest person to die while in office. So JFK, our 35th president, who got assassinated in Dealey Plaza in downtown Dallas, Texas. What's significant about that is, for those of you who are from Texas, are familiar with Interstate 35. Well, I-35 goes through, northeast of Dallas. So number 35 dies, where I-35 runs through. They even refer to, the San Antonio Spurs and Dallas Mavericks as the I-35 rivalry. All right, we'll go on to the next slide now. With that being said, Tatiana Schlosenberg, my apology if I butchered that name. Well, she's Caroline Kennedy's daughter, and today she reveals terminal cancer diagnosed. And today's date, November 22nd, 2025, the 35-year-old journalist said doctors discovered the cancer last year. Once again, JFK was the 35th president. John F. Kennedy was the 35th president of the United States, serving from January 1961 until his death, November 22nd, 1963. Dead at age 46. Now recall July 13th, also written 13/7, 2024. Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. On July 13, 2024, Donald Trump survived an assassination attempt during a campaign rally near Butler, Pennsylvania. He sustained a gunshot to his upper right ear. All right, so the day, month, year format, could also be written 13/7, which represents the 13th of July. Sort of like 137. Well, 137 is the 33rd prime. When you combine the two, the month and the date together for the JFK assassination, remember it's 11 and 22, which equates to 33. There's, a parallel between Trump and Mr. Kennedy, with, assassination correlations. Let's go on to the next slide. So, Revelation 13:3 states that one of the heads of the beast seemed to have had a fatal wound, but the fatal wound had been healed, and the whole world was astonished and followed the beast. Well, when you measure when Donald Trump had got the attempt of the assassination on his ear, July 13, 2024, to the JFK assassination, November 22nd, 2024, it's a span of 133 days. Like Revelation, 13:3, 133. And yes, in medical and anatomical context, the ear is considered a part of the head, and an injury to the ear is classified under the umbrella of a head wound or head injury. JFK was assassinated on November 22nd, 1963. Donald Trump was target of an assassination attempt that occurred on July 13, 2024 in Pennsylvania. So 47 in the beast, okay? So Revelation 13:3 refers to, the beast who gets a head wound. So there's a parallel between Trump and beast, because beast equates to 47, as does Trump equates to 47. Donald Trump, he rides in the presidential limousine nicknamed the Beast, both during his presidency and his capacity as president-elect. The heavily armed vehicle is the official state car for the President of the United States. And also Trump is the 47th President of the United States. If you look closely right there, it says Trump is backing the beast. They emphasize on the word beast because it's 47. Now, Ronald Reagan and Donald Trump have major parallels for those who don't know. Like Trump, Ronald Reagan used the full phrase, "Let's make America great again," during his 1980 campaign. Donald Trump has shortened it to "Make America Great Again," also known as MAGA, and made his signature political slogan decades later. But on March 30th, 1981, President Ronald Reagan was shot in an assassination attempt outside a hotel in Washington, D.C. Now, the date numerology for March 30th is the third month, plus the 30th day equates to 33. And as you see right there was the headline at the time in the newspaper, "President is okay after successful surgery," Now, Vincent van Gogh, March 30th. So Vincent van Gogh, he did indeed cut off his ear December 23rd, 1888, during a severe mental health crisis. Okay? As did Trump, he had suffered from an ear wound during the assassination attempt at a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. Now, Ronald Reagan, he had the assassination attempt on March 30th, 1980. Well, Vincent van Gogh was born March 30th, 1853, in the Netherlands. Notice how when Vincent van Gogh had cut his ear off, it was in 1888, the year 88. Well, Trump equates to 88. Just like how he got his Mar-a-Lago mansion rated on 8/8. He was also on the Oprah Winfrey Show in 1988, and that's when she had asked him when he would run, if he would ever run for president, all for him to become Mr. 45 and 47, our second split-term president. And that's it for today. I hope you all enjoyed today's, show. Or presentation, actually. And thank you so much for tuning in and staying till the end. Have a great night or morning, afternoon, whatever the time y'all are watching this. I appreciate it.